Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another Pokemon 2019 episode review. Today we are reviewing episode 10. Because Ash is about to get that dick shot! Yeah! That wasn't professional at all, but you understand my point. So Ash caught a motherfucking Dragonite. Okay, so I think the episode's a pretty nice episode overall. I remember, I don't know what it is. I guess I don't like Go's catching style. I get what the comparison is, that like Go represents Let's Go and Pokemon Go. So the way he catches Pokemon, it's the way it aggravates me a little bit, because in the anime, the way it's always been taught is that you can't just throw a ball. And if you do throw a ball and it happens to work, it only works because the Pokemon you're catching is inherently weak. I'm perfectly cool with that. In that context, what frustrates me about Go's is that Go's can catch anything from like a low-level Weedle to a goddamn Dugong, and well, granted, the Dugong gave him more trouble, so I'll let that one slide. But like, he caught a Pinsir and a Scyther on one go. Well, I think the Scyther took him 2 goes, but the Pinsir I think he caught on one go. Like, it doesn't hit as hard for me when I feel like you have to fucking, like, it's not as. It's as an old school fan, I don't like it as much because it makes it kind of trivializes catching. When catching used to be about the fighting of the Pokemon, you beat it in a fight and you catch it. And I think Tyrone said something in our chat earlier that really clicked with me, which was the fact that maybe Ash is going to be the quality, whereas Go is going to be the quantity. Meaning, Go's going to get a bunch of Mons, and Ash is going to get like a real team, and maybe Go understand the importance. Because catching Pokemon means very little in the grand scheme of things. It just means you caught it by throwing a ball at it. And considering, here's the thing. When, like, if you said, oh, Ash is about to go fight the Pokemon League, or about to go fight, like, the champion of the region, that's a cool fucking concept. Because that means he's going to have to be on his shit. When you tell me Go's about to go catch Mew, what that really boils down to is Go bringing like a fucking truckload of balls and just throwing them. Like when you tell me Go's goal is to catch Mew, so his goal is literally just to be in Mew's presence. Like there's no training, there's no build up to that. It's just a bunch of fucking nonsense. It's like, well, I'm just gonna get my practicing ready. But is he leveling up his catching skills? Is he using different tactics? No, he's just throwing a fucking ball at these things. I hate that. Like it's not. There's nothing to be interested in. Like Go's character is kind of something, but it's not expanded upon, so even I can't say nothing about that. But like at least with Ash, and especially in this episode, it reminds me of like old school like Gen 1 Ash, where he like emotionally connected to the Pokemon. He's the first one that noticed that Dragonair can't fly and tried to use the Electro Web because Ash is very unconventional and tried to teach it how to fly. He's the first one to acknowledge that, oh, they're probably using Dragon Dance, and that's probably the move that Dragonair needs to use in order to fly. Like he has a bunch. Like I feel like this is a really. I even appreciate the fact that he was talking to Go, and they were questioning why is it that they were questioning the weirdness of Dratini's evolutionary line. That Dratini goes from Dratini to Dragonair to Dragonite, but Dragonite and Dragonair barely look any similar. They even make the reference that Milotic looks like a closer evolution than Dragonair, and I like how throughout the episode and it evolving that Ash understands. Oh, that's why it evolves. It evolves because it wants to protect what's important to it. You can't do that when you don't have any fucking hands or feet or a tail. Well, technically it has a tail, but the tail's like its whole body. It's like how a snake has a tail, but the tail's essentially your body. That shit, I think this was a really good Ash episode. This is the reason why I like Ash. All the shit with him in this episode, gold. Go was pretty throwaway, I'll be real with you. The only thing he works for is the photos, and he's kind of like, I don't know. In this episode, he just doesn't do much for me. He has, like, development wise, Go hasn't done much for me in a lot of episodes. Ash, I think Ash has been pretty straight on, which is good because he needs it. I don't like the fact that at the beginning of the episode, Ash mentions how he acts like he hasn't seen a Dragonite before, even though one of his partners had one. Iris had a Dragonite. You've run into the Dragonite from other characters multiple times. Don't act like you don't know what a Dragonite is all of a fucking sudden. Fuck wrong with you? I don't know. That stuff kind of irks me. And Team Rocket will never be entertaining. The only thing I thought was funny from Team Rocket was when the Dragonite was about to hit it with Hyper Beam. Jesse stops for a second and goes, "Would you like to come with us?" And the Dragonite's like, "Raw!" That's probably that one's pretty funny. That's a pretty funny one. But like overall, I still personally prefer. You're just not like Team Rocket. Unfortunately, is always going to be the low point of most episodes because Team Rocket doesn't have a lot to offer. Their team is, they don't even have like a legit team. It's the Pokemon of the episode routine, and I'm like, man, we could do better than that. Spoiler, I guess we can't. That's a shame. I'm a little bummed out. I'll be real with you. That bummed me out. But like realistically, like I think it's a really good Ash episode. It's cool that he called a motherfucking Dragonite. If you call him a virgin, you're fucking lying. At the very least, he's getting head. This video is not for children. In case you did not know, this video is not for children. If you don't know the Dragonite joke, then I can't be out here trying to teach you uncultured comedy. You gotta learn that shit on your own. But yeah, he called it Dragonite. So as of right now, I'm assuming his team is supposedly Mr. Mime, Pikachu, and Dragonite, which is an interesting combo. I'm also surprised we've been in Gen 1 Mons, because let's be real here, we're in Gen 8, and your first 3 Mons, one of which is a default Mon, are Kanto. And then I've heard rumors that supposedly they had like they show like toys from the anime, and there's already like a Dragonite one and a Mr. Mime one, but right next to it is a Riolu one, which means he might get a Lucario or a Riolu at least. And I'll put it out right here. If that happens, that's gonna give me some movie 8 flashbacks, and I might be feeling some type of way. But I at least am glad that like Ash's whole thing, his team will still generally be the same, which is that he connects with the Mon and they have like a relationship, and that is what turns into him catching said Pokemon. I also still want him to battle and catch a Pokemon too, but I'm just curious how it's gonna go. So I'm looking forward. It's also kind of cool to know that Ash now has like the first generation dragon, even though he should have had that a while ago. It's sad because his first dragon Pokemon was Gible, which still hasn't evolved, by the way. I found that a little weird. I think Ash has what, 2-3 dragons now? It's Gible. Oh, I know he has the other one. I'm rocking my brain through Gen 5 and Gen 6. Well, no, he had Goodra and he had Noivern, and then in Alola, I think Poipole is considered dragon. It's like Poison Dragon, I think. And then he has Dragonite. So I think this is his 5th one. I think officially this is his 5th one. I kind of hope we do some mind. I would be kind of cool if we got some callback stuff, like he went to Oak's lab and then we saw some trade off with like, maybe we saw some Gen 2, 3, 4 of his team, and there's some interactions. I don't know. I'm still wishing, but I'm at least enjoying the Ash development throughout the series. But leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Tell me if you have a Dragonite, and you know what I mean when I ask you that question. And next week, I think we're dealing with... Koharu will be more focused on next week, so we'll see how that goes. There's also Gengar focus, which... Personally, I think it would be great if he called a Haunter. If you gave Ash a Haunter and let Go catch Gengar, I would be over the moon, because I feel like that's a cool reference to what he used to to what happened in Gen 1, which is that he technically had a Haunter, but he never caught Haunter, so I don't know. That's just me. But we'll see how Koharu interacts with the main two and see how that dynamic goes. I don't know, but I think Ash really got a good episode, and I'm happy about that. Go was kind of just there for me, and Team Rocket is Team Rocket. So, where's the gun at so I can blow the goddamn head open? Oh, my hand. Whiplash, and I hit my head. That's not good. Let's get play the way. I'll catch you guys later. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, Lord.